Now is your chance. Your journey is just beginning. You're here for a reason. This is the first Blitz tour since we haven't had JR in the present, but we're doing it for JR in honor of JR. Keep growing, keep going. You must direct your life. You just need to begin. We just got to Charlotte. We're red hot and rolling.
One thing that I can take away is to not let fear govern me.
I want to be free.
And truly inspiring.
Hi, everybody. We're in New York. This is amazing. There's so many new people. It's incredible. You want to make 2024 your best year ever? Now's the time to do something for you, so come out and see it.
One thing I learned is that the joy is in the journey.
Never give up.
Set your day.
Stay focused.
Take one step at a time.
Who wants to change your life right now? We just rushed it. It was amazing. We're going to be announcing new dates for the tour. We're going all over the world. Don't miss out. This can change your life. So we did this Fast Furious tour. We had a great time doing the Blueprint for Success tour. We first hit Tampa, then Charlotte, then New York, then Philadelphia. We did all 4 in 5 days, and it was phenomenal. It was incredible success. I can't say that one was better than the other. They were just all incredible. And I think what we saw was really a renaissance. And, you know, all of the tour started from JR's thought implanted in my head about, you know, we were going to go back out and go to work and really make things happen and show people how things are done. Because after COVID, you just can't sit at home and try to build a business just through Zoom. You got to be out there touching people and talking to people. That's so important. And I think, you know, the great thing about the way this tour came off is, you know, how easy it was to invite people. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but it was an overwhelming success, one that I'm so thrilled at. I never expected it to go as smooth as it did, as easy as it did. You know, sometimes when you do things at the last minute, and, you know, I didn't want to give everybody a lot of time to think about it, because I've always found that when you give people a lot of time to think about it, you'll find a reason not to do it. And I just wanted to get it done. I wanted to do it, and I wanted it to be the beginning of what we will start doing all across the globe. And so I, you know, came back home, and Mark texted me, and we sat down and we decided, let's add, I don't know how many more cities, Mark, or dates, or
7 more.
7 more cities.
7 more cities in 8 days we're going to be hitting, which is great, in the West Coast, which is incredible. And I'm really, really excited, because this format makes it so easy for people to get people out there, because we really do give you a gift. You know, we high level the plan. You get to see, you know, the plan very high level, you know, short bullet points. There's no diagrams. You know, sometimes when we have people go to a UBP meeting, they sit there for an hour and a half and then they leave, they're scratching their head like, what do we do? I don't understand it. And, you know, Jerry used to joke all the time, he invented it, and he didn't understand it in the first time either. And so high leveling it makes it really easy for people to just get a little bit, just a little taste of it, without doing too much. And then I spent an hour and 15 minutes prior to that really giving them some really great practical business advice, personal advice, things that can really help them professionally and personally to grow. And I think that's really important. And each time, even on this next tour, I'm going to be doing a little bit more than what I did, but a little bit different, you know, using the same practical principles. But it really has been incredible. And you can see even from the comments of people in this chat who have been there, just loved it and really took it home. And, you know, I shared my email with people everywhere. And I've literally gotten almost an email from everybody who was at the tour. It was incredible because people really shared what they got out of it. And I think everybody walked away with something that was incredible. What I walked away with, and I talked to so many people afterwards, you know, we were the last people to leave the meeting room. We wanted to make sure we met everybody, shook everybody's hand, try to hear everybody's story the best that we can. And people waited, and we did it. We got through it. And the meeting after the meeting was just as exciting as the meeting as it's supposed to be. But, you know, one of the things that I think was so cool is because this is a non-pressure program. This is like non-pressure. You can actually ask people to come out. If you know, we saw a lot. What we saw was people who hadn't been coming to meetings for a long time come out with a guest. That was key. And I think one of the greatest things that we did is we tell everybody, look, the cost of your ticket is a guest. That's it. There is no cost to you, but the cost is your commitment. The cost is your commitment to bring a guest. It's different than contribution. I want you to commit. I want you to commit to doing something for you. And this really is about the builders, people who want to go back out and build again. So the cost for your ticket was just to bring a guest. I saw people out there, as many people did, and you'll hear from Allison and Brett and Annie and a few, but we saw a lot of people who came out there who hadn't been to a meeting in ages and brought somebody with them. We also saw people who have always been nervous to invite somebody to come to one of our UBPs because this isn't a UBP, because this is different and there was no pressure. There was no pressure for them to figure out how to say, oh, I'm going to pitch you on our business. There is no pitch. We're not selling you anything. We have you come out there and we really gift you something. We really tell you like, hey, this is the things that you can do in order to be better. And you'll hear from Allison in a little bit. She had one of my favorite testimonials of the 4-day tour because she talks about, and it really resonated. I got a lot of emails about it where she talked about how, you know, the gift of this business has been what she's been able to take from her own personal growth and even put it into her own business, not to mention, of course, all the people that she's helped along the way. But the fact that that testimonial resonated with so many people who came, you know, there's a lot of business owners, a lot of people who were able to get their sister-in-law, their brother-in-law, you know, their best friend, their partner. You know, I met some people's bosses that were out there. It was pretty incredible. There's nothing to sell. We're giving a gift. We're not looking to sell anything. And we really gave them great advice that most people have put into play. I have received no less than 50 emails every single morning with people's waking up early, doing something for themselves to learn their business, rewriting their goals, doing things like that. And we just really had an incredible turnout. We also saw, of course, the current builders out there. We saw the people who are starting to rebuild again. And then I thought what was really interesting is that for the people who hadn't felt comfortable inviting people to come out in the past, when they did do it this time, I really thought it was amazing because we saw a lot of guests recruiting UFOs. What I mean by that is they would go to them and say, hey, can you tell me more? I just got a little bit of a high level 15-minute from this guy named Andrew, and I got a little bit of information. I'd love to know a little bit more, because when I talk to them, I share with them like how they can use this in their own real estate business or insurance, or if they want to have their own e-commerce business with us, how they can implement all those incredible things, whether they're in restaurant, what it doesn't matter. Everybody gets really great practical advice. And so we saw something really cool happen, and we really, really got excited about it. And I was overwhelmed because, you know, JR was right once again. This is exactly what we needed to do. And he always knew exactly how to build the business. So as soon as I came home, I called Mark and I said, Mark, let's go at it again. Let's hit the West Coast. Let's do this. And so I decided to add these 7 cities to the tour in 8 days. I think we're doing California, Arizona, Dallas. It's going to be incredible. And I want you guys to understand, I think one of the greatest things we did was to establish that you need to go ahead and get your guest registered to come, because as soon as we sold out in Tampa, we did not expect to sell out in the other cities and states overnight. By the time we put the sold out sign on Tampa, you can ask Mark Ashley. The next morning, it was Sunday, he called us and said, I think we have to call a sellout on all the places. There was no seats left available. I expect the same thing, because Brandy Foster called me this afternoon and said, Lauren, this is going way faster than even the first go around. We are already halfway sold out just in almost all the places in California. I have not opened up Phoenix or Dallas or Houston. I know Tom Holden's focused on Houston. We're proud of him. There's so many great things happening. And the question is, what do you want to do to make 2024 your year? What are you willing to commit to yourself? You know, it's only what, January? I don't even know. I'm so tired from working, and I'm so excited from working that I haven't even looked at the January 25th. We have just started 2024. And you know what? You should be working so hard that you don't know the date either. You should be working so hard for you to make your life better, to really focus on your goals and start setting your goals and saying, you know what, 2024 is going to be my year. I was so proud to do Tampa with Cullen. We did it was just on fire, right? We walked in that room, Cullen, and it was phenomenal. And Cullen, I want you to share some of your things with everybody. And plus, I want them to hear from everybody. Andrew, you were phenomenal. The team really pulled together inside and out to make this a home run. We had double the guests, triple the guests in many places. If we had 60 UFOs, in most cases, we had 170, 180 guests. Imagine being in a room where you ask people to raise your hand, and Annie and Brett and Allison will tell you the whole room practically raised their hand.
Exactly.
Almost everybody was new. It hasn't been like that in a minute. I know Gerald was up there smiling down on us, just really proud of the mission and the work that's being put in by all of you. And you guys have really showed up. But Cullen, I'll let you share a few thoughts, because it was just so powerful. And I'm so moved and so motivated and just amped up and ready to get out there to Cali.
That's it. That's it. It was a true magic moment. And like you said, kicking it off in Tampa, everything was fast and furious. I mean, only a few days we released it. And then, you know, Tampa sold out as the first city right away. And of course, as we're selling that out, then we added Charlotte, and then that sold out super fast, right? So, but what was magic moment was in the room. It was the heartbeat of everybody in that room. And to Lauren's point, we had people really looking and searching for a better way so they could level their life up, all the way to very successful business people. I met a guy in Tampa, the first city, and he's just like, I own an insurance agency of 100 people working for me and this and that. And I'm sitting here tonight and I'm just blown away by the environment and the atmosphere that you guys are creating here to help people become entrepreneurs and think bigger. I mean, he was blown away. And yet he's a professional, right? I mean, and I met him. That's it.
And one other thing too, I want to mention before you continue on, Cullen, is that, you know, Steve Ashley and Mark and Steve Boston, everybody on the team here has put so much energy to even make this one even more efficient for you. And Steve will go over that with you in a few minutes. But if you haven't registered anybody, I've registered so many people today that I didn't even try to. I just put on my Facebook, and Brandy called me, said, you may want to pull back. There's so many people writing in. And I was like, okay, but I started getting all these great emails, which Steve will share with you in a minute, that really made the process even better. So incredible job, Steve.
You know, Lauren, you're so right. I mean, I think we're learning as we go through these experiences. We're enhancing the experience. And to your point before, Tampa, Charlotte, New York City, and Philadelphia were all, I think they exceeded our expectations. And most importantly, it was fun. And equal to being fun, it was productive. For those people who work smarter rather than harder by leveraging the event and simply inviting them to come to learn from such a successful entrepreneur and Lauren, the gift is there, right? And it just was inevitable that every single guest became interested in learning about how our business worked. We gave them a high level about what we are, why we are, and where we are. And then it becomes very natural for the guests to then turn to their, you know, the unfranchised owner that invited them to say, well, how does this work? And so all you got to do is book a follow-up appointment within 24 hours and then show them the 5 steps. They're asking you. So we changed the whole dynamics of the atmosphere and the environment that we're working within to all of our advantage for those people who do capitalize and do take the action and have fun in the process.
I think you're right. And Andrew, it was just a lot of fun and a lot of energy. And I think it recharged our batteries. And that's why I said, let's not let any grass grow under us. If we're going to do this, let's do it big. I got to go home, repack and unpack and repack and get back on a plane. And I'm going to do that. But Cullen, you saw a lot of stuff going on. And we had, as I said, some of the best testimonials. One of the other cool things that we do, besides giving them a great hour and 15 minutes of great information that they can really use. Like they walk out of there and they feel like you gave them the gift. You gave them the gift of inviting them to give them something back that they can implement to make their life better, whether their personal life or their business life, but then the high level of the business, and then hearing from a few, just 2 or 3 very short, very powerful testimonials. There were so many there that were incredible, and Brett and Allison gave some of my favorite testimonials because they were just so key. Everybody was great with the testimonials, but there's so much going on. And Cullen, I know that this was much easier for people to invite to.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And so we thought it would be awesome for all of you on the line with us here tonight to hear live right now from some of the 3 unfranchised owners who had incredible results at getting guests to show up. And what did they say? What would be the top tips? So make sure you got your pen ready, folks. We're going to kick it off. We're going to go ladies first here with professional coordinator Allison Abbott.
Thank you so much, Colin, for letting me share, guys. Thank you for this incredible opportunity. Honestly, guys, Lauren's tour was absolutely incredible, like way exceeded expectations, a phenomenal event. I mean, and was absolutely free. So my tips are you have to get excited about this. Like, you haven't been in that room, but like, trust us, borrow our belief. Absolutely, hands down, we'll over deliver for any guest you bring out. Make a list as fast as possible, include anybody you know in your immediate area. If you're in one of those cities, especially people who own businesses, especially anyone who's posted on social media that they want to change their life in 2024, 100% reach out to those people. Tips for inviting: phone calls are king. Definitely get on the phone with people, let them hear your voice, let them hear your excitement. Beyond that, a voice clip is great. If you're uncomfortable with those things, you can text, but you need to make sure your energy is really, really high. So you should invite right out of this call tonight if you haven't already been doing that today. Keep it really simple. You know, I want to invite you to this lifetime opportunity. My billionaire mentor is coming into town to do an absolutely free event all around mindset, entrepreneurship, and how she built the company we work with for over 33 years. She's incredibly successful, really down to earth. Seats are going super fast. It's going to be Thursday, February 22nd, 7 p.m. If you want to go with me, let me know. I'm getting everyone registered today because it's going to sell out fast. So that's my tips, guys. Don't be afraid to reach out to people in your chickens list and just do it. Be direct, get them in that room. So thank you, Colin.
Man,
That's
that was awesome. Masterclass right
I
there.
love that. I love how she didn't confuse it. She didn't make it complicated. She made it a sense of urgency. And I feel like that always works. It's, you know, Gerald, Gerald used to tell the story, you know, like he used to say to me when he first asked me, do you want to go out Tuesday or Wednesday? You give people a choice. You lock them in and you say, which one do you want? And that's what you got to do. And you don't wait for them. I'll get back to you in a week and let you know. That's not the answer. That won't get you there. You
And
know,
Lauren, by giving them the choice, either answer is correct. Jared loved that.
exactly.
Either answer is
Jared
correct.
loved that. He liked it if I said both. You could take
Right,
me
of
out.
course.
That's it. That's it. All right. Next person up is brand new, by the way, brand new master coordinator, which means, you know, rocking the business, getting her people paid. So she just hit master, which means new people getting paid on her team. And I know she's rocking leading into the tour as well. And that is Annie Vidal.
Love you, Annie.
Oh, love you guys.
Oh, you muted
Sorry,
again. There you
I'm
go.
still muted there. I double clicked.
All great.
I'm going to share a little bit about what I did to get the people to the very first event in Tampa. Okay. And as soon as we had the date, we didn't have a location yet. I got immediately on my phone, on my social media, and I started texting. Okay. And the most important part, like Allison said, you know, I wanted to make sure that as soon as I had that registration link, I already had a list of people that understood the exclusivity of going to Lauren's kickoff. Okay. And that they were committed. So I created that sense of excitement. I texted them a simple question. You know, it's like, hey, do you have a minute to chat? Okay. Because that's how I can get most of my people. Everybody's working, everybody's busy. So as soon as they said either yes or not right now, I'd be like, okay, what time would be good? If they said yes, sometimes I had them calling me before I even picked up the phone to call them. And as soon as
Oh,
You
you're
muted
muted.
again. Annie, you muted again.
sorry.
That's all right.
You're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't touch my keyboard. As soon as I got them on the phone, I just did what Cullen always does with us. I raised that sense of excitement and I said, oh my gosh, what are you doing on Tuesday, January 16th? And depending on their answer, okay, and their level of curiosity, you know, I said either awesome or oh no, and that was it. If they said they couldn't because they were going to be working or out of town, I put them on my list for the next time. Okay. And if they said, yeah, I'm available, I said, awesome. And I quickly explained, I didn't get into too many details. I said, we don't have a location yet, but I know that this is happening. You cannot miss this woman. She is an incredible worldwide speaker, a billionaire entrepreneur, my mentor, and she's coming to Tampa Bay and kicking off her exclusive tour, and you need to go with me. Okay. When they said, yeah, sure. I said, as soon as I have the link for you to register, I'm going to text you and call you again. And I did that. I texted, I called, I sent them the link via email. I got on the phone with them, walked them through the process, and even sat there and listened to Lauren's video with them once they got it and they were registered. I had them take a picture of the email that they got and sent it to me. Okay. And then came the other part, because I live in Lakeland and I had people coming from the Tampa Bay area and from Lakeland. No excuses. I rented an SUV. I packed it with 7 people. I had another vehicle with 2 people following me. And I had a total of 11 bodies, guests there to listen to Lauren. Some of them cried, some of them laughed, and they all, by the time the night was over, was like, I need to see more. Okay. And so I had a home business presentation on Friday. Okay. And on Saturday, 2 of my 11 guests attended the local with me. And then we had a wellness event, and then we had another business plan presentation. And so I've been getting with them again in person, one-on-one. So, you know, you got to do it. We know how to do it. The same process that we use for inviting people to locals, to UBPs, to Zoom events. You text, you call, and you give them that excitement and exclusivity, and that's it.
You are awesome. You were amazing, and I think what she said was really key. We had so many people that were excited. We cried, we laughed. It's a very interactive audience. I go into the audience, we talk about things out loud. We really enjoyed, and I think we talked a lot about community. And, you know, I heard Vance in this chat wrote, hey, he had a real estate mogul there who decided he wanted to get involved with the business. You know, people like being a part of something that feels special or different. You know, Cheryl said in the chat that so many people felt like I was talking directly to them, because we are, you know. And so, Annie, I think that was great. And I was so proud of you. You had so many great people there. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. I'm going to send you some more in California.
Let's go. Let's go. And you know what's cool, you guys, is Annie is exactly where everybody is today, because we don't have an exact location yet. We had a city, but we don't have the venue yet. And some people are like, oh, I'll wait. Don't wait. Do what Annie did. She took action right away. We didn't have a link yet, by the way, if you noticed. Annie was talking to people before the link was even announced. And that is being proactive, all right? Sense of urgency, the whole thing. So fantastic. Way to go, Annie. And last but not least,
I also think it's a lot easier for you guys now, because the first tour sold out so fast that really sets precedence for this one.
Agree.
Can I say something real quick that I forgot to share? I'm sorry. Guys, I spoke directly to 39 people, and I had 11 people attend.
Oh, that's a great point too.
Fabulous.
Great
So
point. Over-invited.
invite
Yes.
and reach out to everybody, because you never know what's going on in their lives since the last time you saw them or talked to them.
That's
Yes,
right.
and somebody
Absolutely.
just said in here, Phoenix is open. You just have to click on the little blue button, and it'll take you to exactly the registration, and you'll be able to pick which city you want. All cities are open for registration, and most of them are halfway already sold out. So it's really important that you get your people registered.
Yeah, and one last thing too before. Yeah, no, we're good. Go ahead. Let's do it, Brett. Supervising coordinator, Brett
That
Fratelli.
was
Thank you for being patient.
Incredible, beautiful why, beautiful story, and just a
Yes.
beautiful testimonial.
Oh, I appreciate all of you. Love you all. You know,
Love you.
guys, I mean, Allison and Annie, like, just hit it on the head, just everything. I hope you're taking notes, because literally verbatim, I'm going to say pretty much the same exact thing, right? Success leaves clues here, right? Your energy and your mindset of the opportunity has to be in alignment. Like the excitement, like people are going to buy you. Like this is an opportunity where it's like, you know, when it first came out, I was like, really? Like this is really like happening? Like it was kind of like, this is amazing, like to have that environment, because people buy the environment. So that's the first thing. The second thing everyone had mentioned already is having a list, right? So please, please, please operate off of a list, right? Go through your contacts, go through everyone you've talked to over the last 6 months. Maybe you're brand new. Maybe who's someone that you're nervous to talk to? Who said no to you? We've had so many people that said no in the past, and then we said, here's an opportunity. And then they said, okay, I'll come. Right. And now they're open-minded. They saw the business, like, just get your, list in order, and you want to over invite. Right. The third thing I'll say is this: the location, like, who do you know? If you want to write this question down on everyone on your list, if they're not in said area, you say, who do you know in LA? Who do you know in San Diego? Who do you know in Dallas? Who do you know in Houston? Who do you know in Phoenix? Right. And now you can make those connections where you can literally build into the cities and leverage the system. And then in addition, you want to obviously, invite into your localized area. The invite is super, super simple. I would start with a phone call, right? Voice clip, text, in that order of importance. Phone call, voice clip, text. And it's super simple. I'll literally read you what I said, right? Because I still operate off of, a script. I literally said, hey, next Sunday, my mentor Lauren is hosting a private invite-only mastermind and would love to extend an invite to you. She's created over $1 billion company, and she's going to be walking through success frameworks that we can use both in personal life and our business life. It's going to sell out fast. Are you in?
No, it's so good.
That's great. Wow.
And that's it. And then people would say yes or no. Most said yes. We would get the registration. Then I'll say this: if you register today, there's a 3-week gap between now and the actual events, right? So you want to make sure there's some follow-up. So I would connect them to a partner that you're working with, right? Making sure that, hey, this person's going to be attending, making sure you keep the excitement. I sold this from Allison. She sent some samples. She sent, Lauren's video of convention. Like, she sent other resources. So then it kept the excitement high. So then this way people showed up, even though there might've been a 2 or 3 week gap. And the last thing is, I think Annie said it best: there was an event to book into coming out of it, where the wellness event or the product event or home party event, where you have a follow-up coming out of it. This way you can literally keep the excitement high, put them in an environment, and then now there's the next step coming out. And JR always said it, the importance is in the follow-up. So, I'll turn it back to you, Colin.
That's so good, Brett.
Awesome.
You guys are just awesome. And those are great tips. And I love how simple and easy they are. And you guys won. I mean, you guys killed it out there. It was amazing. And we met so many amazing people. And I think the key is that after you get these people there, we'll talk a minute at the end about follow-up, but it's so important that you keep this simple and you see it as an invite only, as Brett said. I always find that keeping it exclusive, letting them know you got to let me know, get back to me tomorrow morning and let me know if you're going to take it or not, because otherwise I got to move on to someone else. It's got to be invite only. JR taught me that at a very young age. You got to keep it moving quickly. And like he said, and invite people, and then you'll get the best of them to come for sure.
All right. Absolutely love that. Incredible tips. I hope everybody took a lot of notes there. Keeping it simple though, keeping it simple. So let's talk about where we're headed. This is super important. Make sure you guys are taking a screenshot of this, but you can also find these dates right from your unfranchised.com as well. Okay. So we are Monday, February 12th. We're going to be in Los Angeles. Now, if you see the double asterisks on there, that means that translation will be available in those locations. It's important that you bring your iPhone, Android, your iPad, whatever device you plan on listening to the event on. You'll need it for audio. So make sure you bring some headphones, some earbuds, or something that you would normally put in your ears to listen to the audio. You won't need the video because we're not having any really PowerPoints or anything like that, but we'll have the audio and we'll have it simultaneously translated in every city that you see a double asterisk. So LA, 7:30 to 9:30, Thursday, February 15th, San Diego, that'll have translation as well, 7:30 to 9:30, Saturday, February 17th, Santa Clara, California, that'll be simultaneous translation. That one will be on a Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then Sunday, February 18th, we'll be in Central Valley, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monday, February 19th, we'll be in Phoenix from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then Wednesday, February 21st, we'll be in Dallas. We'll have simultaneous translation in Dallas, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. And then the 7th city, Thursday, February 22nd, will be in Houston from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. And it's super important to make sure in these cities, as you're inviting people, that everybody shows up early. Everybody's there early. One thing we noticed in some of the cities, which was amazing, by the way, is by start time, people were in their seats. We were moving them towards their seats. They got there early. They got registered at or checked in at the registration table, moved them into their seats so we could start right on time, you guys. So that way we can keep things right on schedule. Okay. Now, as Lauren mentioned, the price of entry for an unfranchised owner, of course, is you must have a guest to register. You, as an unfranchised owner, will receive a call and an email from Unfranchised Services when a guest registers. Matter of fact, right before I jumped on here tonight, like Lauren said, Tom Holden messaged me, said, 5 registered already for Houston, rocking and rolling. He's getting calls and he's on top of it. Okay. Yeah, he's rocking. Once your guest registers, you should encourage them, by the way, little tip for you. Once a guest registered, you should also encourage them. Hey, who else do you know that's looking to level up? Do you have a friend? Do you have a family member? You have somebody that, you know, you love and care about that you want to refer this? So you can invite one other person if you want. Encourage them to do it and they'll lead to somebody else. And as an unfranchised owner, this is super important. So everybody, please take a note on this. As an unfranchised owner, please do not register yourself. Okay. It really puts our internal team on overload because then they're you can't register yourself. If you do, they're going to reach out to you and say, you can't register yourself. Okay, folks. So as an unfranchised owner, do not register yourself. You will automatically get registered when a guest registers on your behalf using the link provided from your unfranchised.com or in the email you got from corporate today. Okay. Seats are going fast. Don't miss out. Make sure you take action super fast on this. And last but not least, the fortune is in the follow-up. And you guys know this, but we need to sometimes we need reminders. Let's call it what it is. Okay. So make sure already, even though it's a few weeks out, we should already be looking at the GMTSS, where we can position unfranchised business presentations. Where can you be positioning home events coming out of it? Where can you be positioning a Zoom if you need to add a Zoom online if people are at a distance and you don't live there physically? Either way, it's up to each and every one of us to make sure we got our schedule set accordingly to make sure we got the next step pre-booked. And then the night of the event, by the way, you should be turning to your guests. What did you love best? And you're booking the follow-up within 24 hours because we know when people are hot, they're hot. And every day that goes by, they're dropping on the scale, let's say 100 degrees. If they're 100 degrees burning hot, then all of a sudden they're dropping 20 degrees in 24 hours. They got to remember what they're excited about. So make sure you lock in that follow-up within 24 hours. So that way we can move them forward nice and quickly and keep the momentum rolling out of the event.
Yes,
And
fantastic.
yep. So there we go. Next up, to talk about a couple of tips on how to make sure you got everybody locked in on registering correctly, is our president and COO of Shop.com, Steve Ashley.
Come on, Stevie.
Hey, family, how you guys doing? It's one of these things to where, before I get into kind of the where you're going to go, how your guests are going to register, et cetera, there's that moment that happens, and it happens at UBPs to where your guests and you see them starting to slowly get it, and it's that great reaction. And what you find is, and what I saw in Charlotte firsthand at this is that you saw guests who at the beginning of it were kind of figuring out what they were here for, what was happening at the event, et cetera. And then by 30 minutes into it, they're like, wow. And they're starting to get this complete change of motion. And so I can't express enough how important it is to not only get people that you're now just cultivating into prospects, but reintroducing people who it wasn't the right time for the business, to get them back into these seminars, because it really is something very different that's going to blow their minds and change their minds about not just for what a Market American franchise can do, but also how it can help them personally and professionally as it relates to ongoing. But I'm going to share with you now a little bit. I've seen some things in the chat about, how do I does a guest sign up? How do we share? I'm going to take you through that here right now. So let me pull up.
While you pull that up, Steve, we loved having you in Charlotte. You were awesome.
Thank you. So here we go. So as an enfranchised owner, you are going to go to unfranchise.com to invite your guest and to learn more about the registration and learn more about the event itself. All you're going to do when you hit unfranchise, you're going to click on the Blueprint for Success Tour banner, and then it's going to take you to the landing page on unfranchise. Now we're going to dig deeper into some of the things. I'm just going to give you a high level first. We have our sharing features. What is the event about? All the different locations, as Cullen mentioned, which ones offer the Chinese simultaneous translation at it for that. We also talk a little bit about what your guests are going to get, turning your guests into teammates, building a blueprint for the best you, eliminating limitations, realizing your full potential, giving you a little bit of information as far as what to expect and what your guest is to expect. You saw a little bit about you saw the highlight video when we started with this. We have this also on the landing page for both the unfranchised owner as well as your guest page, because we want everybody to see just how amazing it was to be a part of this, as well as some of the reactions and testimonials from individuals that did go through the Blueprint for Success seminar. And then also a letter from our CEO and co-founder, Lauren Reitinger, talking about some things that you're going to get from this, etc. But let's talk about sharing your referral link to your guests. And this is going to be the different ways in which you can share. Now, I'm not going to go through all the different ways. I'll do that in another Zoom with you guys. But however, I'm going to go through some of the two major ones, which is Facebook and Instagram. Now, on here, we can share via email. We can share, copy our link, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or X. But let's start off with talking about Facebook. Facebook is one of the easiest to share because they allow direct integration into websites. So all you do is when you're on your unfranchise, you're going to click on your Facebook link. You're going to click on the Facebook icon, and then you're going to get this pulled up. Now, this is already going to be pre-populated with an image, with what the Blueprint for Success is going to be about. And then all I'm going to do is write a little bit about what I want my audience to see. So I always talk about it from the standpoint of, are you ready to be inspired, motivated, and make progress in your life? I will be in Santa Clara in LA. I only have 3 free invites. Who is coming with me? Creating that exclusivity, creating that, that call to action. Guess what ends up happening when I send something like this out? I might say that I've got 3 free invites, but guess what? I end up getting about 10 to 15 people requesting that invite. They don't know that. All they know is that it's an exclusive thing. And then I cut this off, because then I want people after the fact saying, hey, I saw your post earlier. Now I see it's closed. Can you tell me more about it? You want to create that sense of urgency because of that FOMO, that fear of missing out, that we create when it comes to this event. And then, of course, once I come onto this is how my post looks on Facebook. Simple and easy. It has my messaging. And the great thing about this is, because I did this on my unfranchised backend office and I hit that link, it automatically has my referral code in there, meaning that anybody who is going to click on this Facebook post of my friends, family, or people I don't know is going, when they go on to register, which I'm going to show you here in a second, they're going to be registered to me as the UFO referring guest for that. Now let's talk a little bit about Instagram. And Instagram's a little bit more challenging, but once you know how to do it, it's really simple on how to share, when it comes to Instagram, because they don't allow a direct integration to it. So I'm going to show you first how to do a video, and then I'm going to show you how to do a photo, how to do an image, because the image is much easier. I always like to do the toughest thing first. And once you realize how easy the toughest thing is, you're going to say, why have I never done this before? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go on back to my unfranchise, and I'm going to click on the Instagram icon. It's going to have my link with my rep ID and all of that in it. I'm going to copy this link. Then I'm going to go back to my Instagram, and let's say that I find a video on either Lauren Shops or someone else's page that I want to share. All I got to do is click on this icon at the bottom left, and it's going to instantly open up so that I can share this as a story. Again, I select whether I want thread, story, share to, Facebook, etc. I want to add this to my story on Instagram. So I click on that. And then now here is the video populated in my story. Now what I want to do is I want to add that link that I copied that link for. So I'm going to click on the button here at the top right-hand corner. Again, go back to this. This is going to be recorded. So what you don't get now, please go back to the recording. And again, myself and Jason are going to be doing a full-fledged sharing on, this in a couple weeks, on Zoom. Now, for the link, we click on the link here at the bottom. There's one for the link itself. And then all I do is paste in that link. As you can see, it has the 275555. That is the rep ID for the associated unfranchised owner. Once I click on that, then guess what? Anybody who now sees my story and clicks on the Blueprint for Success icon link up there is now going to go to the guest registration, which is going to have my referral code already in. Easy peasy. That's how we share on Instagram for a story, for a video. Now a photo is even easier. All I do is again copy that link again. I go pick out an image in my photo library. So I take the brand new poster for Lauren Reidinger's Blueprint for Success tour. I have that in my images. I now go to the stories. I select that as the picture, the image I want. Again, I do the same process. I share the link. I put the link into the story itself. And then here, it's very simple. I post my story. Here it is. Reserve your seat here. I put in any message that I want. Every time they click on it, again, they go to that guest registration page. Now let's talk about what your guest is going to see. They're going to go to blueprintforyoursuccess.com. Now they don't need to worry about this URL. This URL is where it's living at. If they come through social media, they're going to go directly to this page. If like Brett and Allison and Annie talked about that they got on the phone, they shared the link. They shared where to go to that guest registration page. So someone didn't have to think, oh, well, what is that URL again? They shared that with them on the phone. They sent it in by text or reemphasize it, etc. As you can see here, one of the major differences is rather than inviting your guest, here it's about saving my free seat now. And so they go on. They're going to then register for whichever city that they're selecting for, whether it's LA, San Diego, Santa Clara, etc. When I click on my destination, which was Santa Clara, I'm going to go on. I'm going to put in my name, my email address as a guest. I'm going to put in my mobile phone number so that I can receive text alerts to update me on venue, when it's coming up, etc., my state of residence, as well as who invited me. Let's say I didn't come in through a referral link and I came in just directly from this. I'm going to either put in Brett Bertelli as the referring person who invited me, or I'm going to put in Brett's email or phone number so that we can then link so that they can then link me up as the guest to Brett. And I'm going to tell you why that's important here in a second. Not just for the admission, but also so what you know as well. Your social media handle. So we give an example. Mine would be on, at Steve Ashley. And then what areas in life you want to improve on, whether that's having more control over time, personal growth, being my own boss, or generating a supplemental income. And then, of course, we have a simple question. Where are you willing to commit 4 to 6 hours per week to achieve your goals? And if you're not willing to commit 4 to 6 hours to achieve your goals, well, then you got to wonder who you're working for. You're working for everybody else except for yourself. And you got to start putting your big rocks first over everybody else's rocks. So if you can't commit 4 to 6 hours, find 4 to 6 hours, because I'm sure you're going to find it very quickly if you start looking at your schedule. Now, when a guest registers, this is what they get for confirmation. They're going to get a great welcome message from Lauren, letting them know how excited she is, giving them a little bit of more information about what the seminar and what to expect. And then I'm going to get an email that's going to give me the location, the date, as well as which site that in this one I'm logged into. I've signed up for Los Angeles. Now, as the UFO, what do I get? What do I receive? How am I notified? You're going to get a personal phone call from our unfranchised services team, letting you know you had a guest that has registered for which city. But not only you're going to get a nice, friendly voice telling you got it, you're going to get an email that's going to let you know who signed up. So in this case, Michael Brady is my guest. He signed up for the LA one. It gives me Michael's information because, not everybody, if I'm going out and trying to get some cold referrals on social media, I'm not going to know everybody who comes in and signs up to be a guest. This is going to give me Michael's name, email, and mobile so that I can then reach out to Michael to tell him more about what he's going to experience and to schedule a time and pick up time to say, okay, this meeting starts at 7:30. I'll pick you up at 6:30. Give me your address or let's figure out a pickup and then schedule the time, because as we all know, 100% of the people show up if you pick them up and you bring them to the event itself. So this is a great new thing we've done. And then we've even added an additional way to where if Cullen is my upline vested interest partner in the business, we are also sending Cullen an email letting him know that Steve has a guest coming to the Los Angeles one, so that if I listen, I may be a little gun shy when it comes to follow up or what are the next steps. That way Cullen can then reach out to me and say, hey, Steve, great job on the guest. Why don't we schedule a follow-up 24 hours after the event so that we can meet with Michael, so that we can go through this. I can mentor you on the process, and then we can answer all of Michael's questions after the Blueprint for Success tour that he goes to. And now I'm going to turn it over to one of my partners in crime to go through what's in how to share on a franchise marketing app in Jason Pellin.
Bravo, Steve. And Steve,
Awesome.
Can you just say this? You hit the social media highlight icons, but there's an email one, there's a text one, there's one for everybody. So I know everybody in the chat's asking, yes, that he just only highlighted a few of them, but there is one for email. There is one for text. Do not get stuck complicating this. Sometimes we spend too much time complicating things when all you need to start doing is inviting people. When you go from your unfranchised back office or the email that came in today, it's so simple. You just click the icon. You cannot go wrong. Sometimes we spend too much time trying to figure it all out, and all you need to do is just start inviting people.
And Lauren, just to hitchhike before we go over to Jason is, yes, those referral links are in all of those areas that Steve alluded to. If you send it by email, it's there. If you send it by text, it's there. You can ask Annie. She was doing the same thing. She just alluded to that before. Lauren, you're so right. Just do it. Just do it. It's simple. That's a big thing for us this year, is teaching people how to use these kind of things just by pointing and clicking a few buttons and letting the amount of people that you can bring on, and then we're going to tie that into some other things, but all of those things are there. The other thing is, and I got to emphasize this because it's a frustrating point for me and some others, is the fact that everyone already got emailed today. Everyone got an email today, and in that email, and I got to tell you, I'm frustrated because UFOs don't even open up emails from the company. And if you would have just looked and opened up your email from your business, you would have seen that all you had to do was click on the button that was in the email, and it would take you right to that page that Steve was referring to.
Right to your back office.
Yeah, and so it's guys, you got to pay attention. because some of the questions just don't make sense. It's like because you're not paying attention. So that's really, really key. And I got to tell you something, the team has, put this together in such a short, quick time. No one's had a break. I mean, they have just been outstanding. And this is the beginning of being able, the things that Steve just talked to you about, you can do that on product pages. You can share that product. You can do it with Core 3. You can share it on, you hear Brett's nodding too. Look, on social media, you can share the products just like he's talking about, as well as the Blitz.
Yes.
So all those things are available to you for you to do just by clicking a button. And so,
And
go ahead, Steve, I'm sorry.
in that new email that came out today, that gave people the email address so you can reach out to the person who registered because they saw it on your page or they got it through you. It's so key. It just makes it so much easier, guys. Thank you for that.
And I also wanted to say one more thing, Steve-O, is that I want to allude that your upline is, like Steve alluded to, is getting the information as well that that individual in your organization did invite that individual so they can connect, and you can help them, as Steve alluded to, with the follow-up. So we're trying to connect all the players together to make this as seamless as possible. And Brett and Allison and Annie, thanks for sending those scripts over. That was huge.
Yeah, by the way,
everybody.
in this chat, before Jason takes over, in this chat, Brett, you guys were amazing. Andy probably already put it in there too, but you guys are amazing. You're gold. That the fact that you put your scripts in here for everybody in these chats, you guys are amazing. Of course, I'm sure Colin will get that out too, also to everybody tomorrow. But this is where you pay attention. This is where you're getting so much value right now by listening to these guys. They're just incredible. I just love them so much, and the people who already came out. So it was amazing. Jason.
And Jason, I'm sorry, one thing really quick from my end is that because we're starting to see this, because we're starting to see a lot more sharing, but there's a little thing that you guys, that some people are not doing, and it's causing them not to get the credit for the referral. If you see it on Market America's page or on Lauren's page, remember those, the URLs that are in those are for Market American for Lauren, so that we can identify where they're coming. If you share their great content on your page, please make sure you remove the URLs that are in those, and you go into your back office, you get your referral link, and you put it into that content so that you get the credit for it. So use our content, but make sure you remove our URL and you add your URL so you get the credit for it. Now, Jason, I'm sorry, go for it.
No apologies. You are a master, Steve. Outstanding. The information that you just shared and everyone before, this is all for all of our success. I mean, the tour itself is phenomenal, and we want all of you to participate. So great share tools, great things that we've got in the email on Unfranchised, but we also have everything loaded up into the Unfranchised marketing app. So I'm going to walk you through how you can leverage the content within the Unfranchised marketing app. But like Steve alluded to, everything stems from your personal link. So when you go to your unfranchised.com, maybe you're on your mobile device, you go to that landing page and you'll see the same share icons. You've got the email, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, and the copy link. So that little paperclip is going to copy a link to your clipboard. When you copy that link, it's now in your phone. Then you can go over into your Unfranchised marketing app and find some of the great assets that we've already loaded in there for you. Steve mentioned just now that if you share some of the great content that you're seeing on social media, on shop.com's page or Lauren's page or anything that people are sharing, it doesn't have your specific link in it. So when you copy that link from your Unfranchised, that's tied to you as the Unfranchised owner, so we can track that guest back to you. So when you go and open your Unfranchised marketing app, under the current promotions tab, you'll see that we've got some assets. We've got that great highlight video that you saw this evening. It's also on our landing pages. So we've got that for you to be able to share. We've got an image and a vertical image that you can use in your stories. So you simply pick the image or the video that you want to choose, it's going to bring up a place where you can write a unique message. But you see where it says social, it means that you're going to share this on social. You click on confirm, and it's going to ask you, where would you like to share this? Let's say you want to share it to Facebook. You click on Facebook newsfeed, and it's going to populate right onto Facebook for you. So this is where you're going to put your own unique message, whatever it is that you want to make sure that your followers read. It's got that nice picture for you. And then when you click next, it brings you back into the app and says, now you want to paste your link. So when you go to click on Facebook again, it then promotes you to go to the comment section where you can post the link from your unfranchise that's in your clipboard. The reason that's important is that when you're sharing links specifically on social media like Facebook, the Facebook algorithm actually gives you less visibility if you're posting a link in your post that directs people off of Facebook. So if you have that great picture, you've got the message, if you put the link in the comments, you're going to have great visibility on that post, but then you're going to still get what you're looking for. The link from your unfranchise direct to your guest to register. Now, another asset you might use is you might take this and say, well, I want to share it to a contact via text message or an email. I don't want to post it on social media. So in this case, you're going to share it to a contact. You click on send to a contact right within your unfranchised marketing app. You get to search for your contact. When you find the contact, you tap their name. And then what it's going to do, it's going to allow you to send them a text message with that same link that we talked about. Now, what about these vertical images that you see on Facebook stories or on Instagram? We have these also in your app that you can download. So you click on it and you'll see the button that says download. When you download the video or that vertical picture, it then allows you to upload it as if it's your own video to Instagram or Facebook stories. So now when you've got this video playing under your profile, you're simply going to click on the little sticker, and right with that sticker is where you're going to paste that link from your unfranchise. So you can share to a contact right from the app. You can share to your social media profile from the app. And then you can also share to your stories and reels with a video and then paste that link right through those stickers. All of these ways drive back to that same landing page Steve mentioned where your guest can register, but now we've captured the fact that they are your guest. When they register, you're going to follow that process and you'll be attached to that guest when they attend the event. So lots of great ways to share. The most important thing, Lauren said it, just do it. Just do it, right? Get the information out there.
It's true. And, you know, I've been looking at the chat and the chat's on fire right now. And first of all, thank you to all of you who came out to support us for all 4 cities. I think we all did. You recharged my batteries as much as I hope I recharged yours. It was incredible. I saw Cheryl Duchess said that by the way, Cheryl Duchess was amazing. She came out there, Mark Ashley, with like a whole group of people, of new people had not seen it. She already sponsored and
Unbelievable.
brought on 2 new people on the team. Carmen Ames said that she drove her guest and her guest had to listen to her for 3 hours on the way there. But when she went home, she had to listen to her guest for 3 hours because her guest was so excited. And I love that. That's so beautiful. And I just want you guys to know this is a lot of fun. This is not a pressuring event. We have a lot of fun. It's a lot of interaction. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of deep personal thought. It can be very emotional at times. Allison and Brett and Annie will tell you there was a lot of tears that were shed. It was good for everybody, good for the soul. And I think people felt really good about it. You know, Mark has led this team so incredibly to get this thing done. It takes a lot to move so many people and pieces behind the scene. And Mark has just been remarkable. I couldn't go out there and do this if I had to think about making sure all the details were happening behind the scenes. And he's the one behind the scenes reminding me with Steve Boston, like, hey, I need you to cut another video. By the way, I'm almost done with 2 new videos. One will be going to UFOs after this event to remind you to follow up. And thanks to all of our team who gave us we have some great input in that video. And then another one that'll be to your guest. Just thanking them for coming out with us. But Mark Ashley, you are incredible. And I just love for you to say a few words if you don't mind.
Sure. Absolutely. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, team. Thanks for everyone being on here tonight. I gotta tell you a few things. You know, we're taking all the work out of this for you. You know, there's no cost to come to this event. The company is expending a lot of money now, going to 11 cities in such a short period of time, flying people all over the place. The room and it's free for everybody. The only thing you got to do is bring a guest and let us do the work for you. You know, I get it. I guess I get a little frustrated or agitated sometimes because we make things so easy for people. All they got to do is just get people there. And if I'm hitting the wrong tune with you, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of work that goes into this. There's a lot of expense that goes into this, all for your benefit, all for your benefit. And all you got to do is get new people there. That's all you have to do. And and it's not about doing something. We're coming to you now. We're coming to your area. And all you got to do is bring people. So I don't know how much easier we can make it for you. If you can't make it work now, you're never going to be able to make it work. Okay? Why are we doing it now? Because that's going to parlay right into the Leadership Academy. And I'm going to tell you this right now, just the way the Blitz Tour got sold out quickly after Tampa did, just like these other ones, these 7 cities are going to get sold out. Mark my words. I think on the last Zoom, and I wrote it down, that I said we would sell out, and you can record it. You can record this one as well. Give me about 2 weeks after the Blitz Tour, and Leadership Academy is going to be sold out, period. Period. So mark my words. So you better get your tickets now. Give me a couple weeks. Give us a couple weeks after the Blitz Tour. It's going to be gone. The numbers are already showing and trending in that direction. Team, we're finishing up the areas or the venues in those particular cities. Don't worry. Anyone who is registered and any UFO who has a guest that's registered, we will email you to follow up to let your guest and you know where that venue is going to be. So don't worry about that. We're just trying to find the sweet spot in the right area and the right venue, but you're going to automatically get that, and we'll email that to your guest, to you as the UFO, and your upline. This whole thing about how the sharing process works, we started it with Core 3. We're continuing it with the Blitz Tour. We're going to continue this at Leadership Academy. We're bringing in some special guest speakers at Leadership Academy to teach you how to make money on social by doing it simple ways. I'm talking about people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, so you can grow your base. And then it's going to be followed up by Steve and Jason, who are going to be doing Zooms in the next couple of weeks. They'll be there is so much that you can capitalize on social on top of what you're already doing, and it takes no time to do it. Everyone's got to jump on board. It's so simple and easy to do. Steve and Jason did this on our last Zoom for our initial Blitz Tour, and I could automatically see how many people just didn't understand how to do it. We're going to eliminate all of that as well for you. Everything this year is focused on simplicity, keeping the main thing, keeping the focus, and really condensing this down to make it simple to register people in the business, to get people involved in the business, to show people the business, make it simpler. You'll see a modified plan at the Blitz Tour. They're not going through the whole business. Look, when you invite a guest there, they're not making a decision. They're going to listen to help broaden their life, help make them better as individuals. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. We're not going through the whole business plan. We're going to modify the business plan too. This is a way that you can see how that's done. And of course, Lauren and Andrew do an incredible job of that. Man, there's so many great things that we have to, since January 2nd, we've been knocking out of the park. I want to let you know the same thing that Steve and Jason told you about today about inviting people to the Blitz Tour, and, customer service and UFO services call you with that personal call. You can do the same exact thing with Core 3 Health. Watch this. Annie Vidal, right? Annie, how many guests did you have in Tampa? You have a problem with that mute button. I'm going to have to help you with that.
11.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She had 11 people
there.
Okay. Watch this. She shared the link, right? She talked about that. Do you know, just like you can do that and you can share links with Core 3, Annie has sold the third most total Core 3 health programs in all the United States. Probably because she's doing simple things and duplicating things and saving herself time. She can reach more people in an easier, simpler way than everyone else is because she's using the tools that we have. And it's really, really simple. And that's going to be we should be doing 10 times more than what we're doing right now. Just through simple methods, simple things that we can do. So
I wanted to remind everybody that they can invite guests even if you're not in that area. We will take care of your guests and they will feel very comfortable. Very comfortable. Everybody did. So, you know, we met everybody. In fact, when we closed out, so many people we loved, you know, if you noticed, we had the UFO guest had a different color badge. Why? Because I wanted to approach them from the floor and speak to them, and it made it easy for me. But then, you know, I would talk to somebody and their guest afterwards, and I would tell them like, oh, well, you know, Allison has a direct link to me, so you're connected with the right person, because they were telling me they want to get more information. And, you know, I had so many people like come over to me and sign, like, I didn't know who you knew who I was. And I'm like, of course I do, but you also have to remember I'm building you up out there. Don't ruin that for me. I'm building you up out there, and I'll give you a wink like, yeah, he works directly with me. You know, he's in prime position to make this happen. We're doing this big together. So, you know, I'll give you a lot of winks and stuff because we're in it together. I'm going to help you make this happen. And Mark, you're so right. Don't miss out on this. This is so big. I can already see how it's working. I can already, the buzz in the field, there's excitement everywhere. People are fired up. That's why Mark said, can you just go home and unpack and repack? And I said, let's go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's key what Lauren said about you can invite, you don't have to be there. Well, that's what makes the GMTSS so special, is they'll be taken care of. Another thing that we're doing too is we are running social media advertising. Why are we doing that? We're doing it geo-targeted areas and so forth, because we want to get new people to this event. But don't worry, we don't want the people. The people go back to the UFOs who are bringing the most guests to these events. So any of those people that we flush out, if you will, and curate, they're going to go back to UFOs, because we want to, again, get those areas going and get those areas going and give them to the UFOs who are just inviting the most guests.
And we didn't even get to do that on the first round because we sold out so quickly, but we will come back again.
We didn't have enough time.
We will come back again to all of those cities that we're in and go again and do a full advertising thing there, so we can give those to the people who really were out there building and showing up. Allison showed up with 9 people, I think. Incredible. And I met every one of them. So everybody was incredible.
I love it.
Is that it, Mark? Anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, anyone else? Steve, Andrew, whatever.
And yes, you're asking if I'm coming to Canada, to Boston, to Maryland. Listen, we're going where you're growing. We're going where you're growing. And that's all I can tell you. Yes, Toronto, you are on my list. I'm going to get you. If not before leadership school, you will be directly after leadership school. I haven't decided that yet. I'm a little concerned about snowstorms, not because I love the snow, but I don't want to be stuck anywhere because I got to get from city to city. I fly. You know, when we finish these tours each night, we get on a plane at midnight. You can ask Allison. She saw us, Brett saw us. We get on a plane at midnight. We go right to the next city. So there's not any time I can't have a snowstorm. So I have to think about that completely. But if I don't hit Toronto and Boston, a few of those cities right before leadership, you will be the first on the next go round. Mark and I are already planning the next 8 cities. So we love you guys, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm proud of you. And this is something, please make 2024 be different for you. You know, in order to really grow, you have to step out of your comfort zone. In order to really get where you need to be, you have to be something different. You know what builds confidence? You know what builds confidence in you is not somebody else's experience, but your experience. What you're willing to try, what you're willing to do, what you're willing to say, you know what, if it's going to be up to me. if it's meant to be, I will do this. And you're the only one who can build confidence in here. You're the only one who can build confidence in here. And you got to start talking to yourself and saying, you know what, I am very possible. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. I love you guys. I'm looking forward to you. I want to thank Annie and Brett and Allison. You guys are icons. You're gold. We worship you. We love you. I am so proud of you. I'm proud of all of our team and Kevin and Andrew and Colin and Steve Ashley and Steve Boston who came out there. I love you guys. And Mark, you just have pulled it all together. It wouldn't be possible without you. And I love you. And I know Mark wants to get back on the tour as soon as World Conference Leadership School's over.
Yeah, everyone just doing a fabulous job. And if you want to be in the city list of future Blitz tours, it's just going to take you growing. Okay.
Yes.
We're going where the growth is. Okay. So you got a few people there, it's not enough. You got to start growing, got to see some growth. So that should be something for you to aspire to do and to grow so we can get into your areas. So we're coming out to you, and Lauren just, hit it on the head.
Love you guys so much. Have a
Love you
great
guys.
Thursday and a strong Friday tomorrow. I love you guys. See you soon.